You ready? Let's do Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Yom, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Borech Boachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Borech Barechuni Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Borech. Final verse. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Borech. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Nice to see you. Glad you could be with us. My name is Barry Nicholsberg. I have the honor of being the cantorial soloist here at Temple Beth David. We are affiliated with the Union of Reform Judaism, and we are 20 miles east of downtown Atlanta. So when you're in the area on a Friday night, Saturday morning, feel free, come on in and say hello. To my left this evening, Daniel Bordeaux. We greatly appreciate your being here. Frank Monteleone could not be here. There's an illness in his family, and he needed to be there. And so I called Daniel at the last possible moment, and I said, "Can you bring your guitar?" He said, "Sure." It was lovely. At the board, Denise Whitlock. So when you type any names into the chat box, well, Denise will read them for you. If you want to say hi to her, you can type that in too. She won't say it out loud, but I think she'd appreciate it. So, with that, let's take a deep breath in. We're breathing in the last week that we have lived. And then we're going to exhale that week, and when we breathe in again, and we're breathing in Shabbat. A restful, a peaceful, a contemplative breath. Where are we right now? Where are we physically? Where are we spiritually? I'm having a tough time tonight. And I don't think it's going to get any easier for me. This is 1 year to the day since Rabbi Kersner passed. And he was more than my rabbi. He was a dear, dear friend. And later on in this service, I will chant El Malei Rachamim for him. But in the meantime, I'm sure if he was here, he would say, "Get on with it, Barry," and so we are. It's an interesting time of year. We're running right into Passover. It's 3 days from now. It's the beginning of Passover, and on the same day is Earth Day, April 22nd. So as we care for ourselves, and we remember for ourselves, and we remember for our children and their children and their children, let's make sure we also remember that if we don't take care of the earth, they won't have a future here. If there's no oxygen to breathe, it really doesn't matter what political party you belong to. I'm not sure it doesn't matter anyway. But as we enter Shabbat, let us release the past week, its joys and its sorrows. Let's free ourselves from any misgivings or guilt. We should look forward to new happiness and bring the best of ourselves to new experiences during the week to come. With that, I would like to invite Wendy Fine to the bima to lead us as she lights the Shabbat candles, and she makes her way down. I want to say to her, thank you. I know this is not the most comfortable evening you've ever spent. So thank you for being here, and thank you for lighting the candles. And I'm going to step out of the way. Hi, Sarah. I step out of the way so that you can actually see her.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Come on. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Wendy, thank you so much. If you will please turn to page 138 in your Siddur, known as the Mishkan Tefillah. We are going to welcome the Shabbat bride, singing Lecha Dodi. We sing the 1st, 5th, and 9th verses. On the 9th verse, I invite you to stand up, whether you're here or somewhere else, and face the door you came into, whatever room you're in. And we sing because that's actually the verse that welcomes the bride herself. Page 138, Lecha Dodi. Lecha, lecha Dodi, tikvat, tikvat kala, pene, pene, Shabbat, Kabbalat. Lecha, lecha Dodi, tikvat, tikvat kala, pene, pene, Shabbat, Kabbalat, la, 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 lecha Dodi, tikvat, tikvat kala, pene, pene, Shabbat, Kabbalat. Lecha, lecha Dodi, tikvat, tikvat kala, pene, pene, Shabbat, Kabbalat. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi adu el hamnuchat, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shem tiferet, v'la la 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 lecha Dodi, Ligvat ligvat kala, pene pene Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha lecha Dodi, ligvat ligvat kala, pene pene Shabbat Kabbalat. Hitoreri, Akiva orech kumiori, uri shir daberi. Kivot Adonai alayich nili la 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 lecha Dodi, ligvat ligvat kala, pene pene Shabbat Kabbalat. Lecha lecha Dodi, ligvat ligvat kala, pene pene Shabbat Kabbalat. I ask you please to rise. Lo'i v'shalom ateret bala, Gam besimcha tzola, toch emonei am segula, bohichala, bohichala, la 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 chadot, likrat kala, pene Shabbat Kabbalat, likrat kala, pene Shabbat Kabbalat. Please be seated. Thank you for that. On page 144, I will chant the Chatzi Kaddish, also known as the Reader's Kaddish. You're welcome to sing along with me. Please do. That includes you, Sarah, who will sing along with me anyway. I love that about you. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shamei rabak b'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chal yechol yamechol uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv Vayimaro, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Li'alam U'al Me'omaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitba'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yidada, V'yitaleh, Shemei dekudesha barechu le'elamim kol bechata v'shirata tosh bechata v'nechemata dahamiran bi'alma v'imaru Amen. Would you please turn to page 146 and rise for the call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Barechu et Adonai Hamivorach Baruch Adonai Hamivorach Hamivorach Le'olam va'ed Hamivorach, Hamivorach, Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. On page 148, I invite you to join me in reading in the English at the bottom half of the page, starting with Blessed Are You, page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzavot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. On page 150, please join me at the bottom, reading in the English, starting with Everlasting Love. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. It is a very interesting time of year. People who call themselves culturally Jewish, not religiously. And I was the first in line for 35 years. I know what culturally Jewish is. Still, you may not go to synagogue on Rosh Hashanah, you may not go on Kol Nidre, Yom Kippur, but something drives us about Passover. It is absolutely the most well-attended, far more attended than even the High Holy Days, nationwide, worldwide. And it's the only one where we are commanded by God to pass the story on. The story of how we were slaves in the land of Egypt. The story of how, after 400 years in Egypt, the final 240 of them in slavery, the first 160 were okay, but the last 240 were really hard. And how God presented these miracles. Well, you think about it for just a second, because tonight would have been one of those plagues. Because come Monday, they were already packing up and heading east. So these are really important days. We keep those, the 10 plagues. Well, one of them was happening tonight. And, 4,000 years ago, but even so, it was happening on this evening. And so we are told in the Torah that we shall pass this story along from generation to generation, and it has been. It has been always that. So I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we recognize the importance of this holiday that we are about to begin. There will be seders everywhere, and I hope that you're involved and included in the seder that will be here on Tuesday evening, our community seder. Whether you are or not, I want to wish you a happy Passover. With that, I would ask you to rise, page 152, as we chant the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivo Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivo Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. On page 154, I am going to chant the V'ahavta. It's comes straight from the Torah, which means it's not Hebrew, it's Aramaic. The tune that I chant is actually written out in the Torah. And so, for thousands of years, this song has been chanted in pretty much the same way. There are a few little variations from time to time, but all in all, it's this. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol miodecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibatar bam b'shivtecha b'vetecha u'v'leftecha v'derech u'v'shoftecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot ben einecha u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha L'ma'an tizkaru ve'asitem et kel mitzvotai v'yetem kedoshim le'loechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeichem mieretz mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. If you're not familiar with what I just chanted, you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lay down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. We are being told exactly what we should be doing. On page 158, I invite you to join me in singing Mi Chamocha. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot Ose fele, nora tehilo, ose fele. Malechuticha hara uvanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elia nuviamru, ze'elia noviamru, Adonai yimloch Olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilo oseh feleh nora tehilo oseh feleh. Very nice. Thank you for joining along. The next piece is on page 160, Hashkivenu, my favorite lullaby. We ask God to protect us as we sleep. That seems to make a lot of sense. Here's how it goes. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim ufros aleinu sukat shlamcha, ufros aleinu sukat shlamcha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wing, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 It's like a warm blanket on a cold night. I just love that song. Page 164, the Tefillah. I would invite you to rise physically and or spiritually. Hanananananana Adonai. Hananananana Savtai Tiftach. Hananananana Ophiyagi. Ophiyagi Tahilatecha. Hananananana Adonai. Hananananana Savtai Tiftach. Hananananana Ophiyagi. Ufiagi tahilatecha, Hananananana Adonai, Hananananana Savtai Tiftach, Hananananana Ufiagi tahilatecha. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Elohei Zilpa Elohei Bilha v'Elohei Tamar Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer chasadim tovim, v'konei hakol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, umegula livnei v'neihem, v'ma'an shemo b'yahava, melech ozer u'mashiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham, v'yetzrat Sarah. Page 168. Atah gipor leolam Adonai, Mechayeha kal atarav le'oshiha, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayeha kol berachamim rabim, Somev noflim berofei cholim, Umatir asorim, Umkayem emunato lishenei afar micha mocha bal givurot umido melach melech memit umchaye umatzmiya mitshua v'ne'emanat alecha yor ha'akol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Page 170. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. So tonight, in the middle of that, we sang Mashiv Haruach Umorid Hagashem. thanking God for the winter. This is the last Shabbat. We will sing those words until Sukkot. So starting next Friday night, we will be singing Umurid. It just flew right out of my head, but I promise you it won't be. It won't be what we just did. I know you're wondering if I'm always this disorganized. Yes, it's a trademark. Our worlds are busy and noisy. Traffic jams, horns blaring, cell phones ringing, text messages buzzing. Too often we hear without listening. Let's take a moment to embrace the gift that only the quiet in this sanctuary and in our own minds can deliver. I invite you to join me in praying silently. On page 429, I would invite you to join me in English reading I Am a Jew, page 429. I am a Jew because the faith of Israel demands no abdication of my mind. I'm a Jew because the faith of Israel requires all the devotion of my heart. I am a Jew because in every place where the suffering weeps, the Jew weeps. I am a Jew because at every time when despair cries out, the Jew hopes. I am a Jew because the word of Israel is the oldest and the newest. I am a Jew because Israel's promise is the universal promise. I am a Jew because for Israel the world is not completed, we are completing it. I am a Jew because for Israel humanity is not created, we are creating it. I am a Jew because Israel places humanity and its unity above the nations and above Israel itself. I am a Jew because above humanity, image of the divine unity, Israel places the unity which is divine. Second to the last verse, I am a Jew because Israel places humanity and its unity above the nations and above Israel itself. I long for those days. People ask me regularly, well, what are you going to talk about? You're going to talk about what's going on in Gaza? Not unless I have to. I would invite you, please, to turn to page 371. If you have names that you would like to add to this week's Misha Berach list, those for whom we are praying because we're praying for their souls, for their hearts, for their minds, for their general health, this would be a good time to start to type those into the chat room. I think we're going to have trouble with a microphone here, so just if you could, I'll just go around. Do you have names you'd like to add? Please. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have names you'd like to add to the Misha Berach list? Thank you. Thank you. Denise.
Barbara Freed and Tanya Hurst, Diana Berger, Holly Helbine, Bonnie Miller, Janine Marshar, Ann Moore, Shelley Perkle, Heather Murray.
I will add Barbara Freed, Dr. Daniel Gross, Wendy Fine, Ellen Monteleone, Lucas McHenry, Joseph Lafrague, Dave Erickson, Shelley Perkle, David Ben Mordechai, Arab the Minke, Jerry Hunt, Mark Epstein, Hannah Litzo, Lloyd Stephen Reifert Jr., President Jimmy Carter, for all of those in Israel and Ukraine and for their loved ones around the world. I pray for their mental and physical health and stability. I pray the same prayer for the people of Gaza. They are not our enemy. Hamas is our enemy, but not the people of Gaza. And we need to keep that in perspective.
Have Tim Browning, Patty Beeman, Cindy Fleming, Ann Perdome, Barbara Freed, Barry Nicholsburg, Heather Murray.
I don't know who added me to the Misha Berach list, but thank you. I thought it was okay. Who knew? On page something or other, wait, it will come to me. Yes, it will come to me. Misha Berach, page 371. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mikor HaBrecha Leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imoteinu Mikor HaBrecha Avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Thank you, Daniel. I'd rather not talk about this week's Parsha. I will, but I'd rather not. It's Metzora. It's, of all the Parshas, I would say that it's in the top 5 of the ones I don't like. It's mostly, I think it's mostly misogynistic. It's, it focuses on bodily secretions, whether that's saliva or anything else, and how people are dirty when whatever. I don't like it. I would prefer that we not see this side of ourselves that say men are cleaner than women. It's ridiculous. I've known guys who didn't take a shower for weeks, so never known a woman to do that. It's a difficult parsha because we are reminded that bodily secretions are somehow not human when they're very much human. I'm glad that it's about to become Passover. Some of us will take up every breadcrumb we can find and wipe them away with feathers, and others will eat hot dog buns on the first, second, third, and eighth day of Passover. And however you choose to celebrate it, it's right for you. It's right for somebody else to do something else is fine. I still, this whole business of I am more Jewish than you because I, and fill in the blank, is ridiculous. A Jew is a Jew, period. You don't get brownie points because you do X, Y, or Z. You just don't. So whether you are a Jew by choice, or you are a Jew by birth, or you're just related to a Jew and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on, thank you for being with us. And that's mentally and physically. I really miss Rabbi Kersner. He was my friend. And today is the first year, marks the first year of his passing. And it's hard. It's hard for all of us who knew and loved him. I think I'm going to leave it at that tonight. I'd rather not get all emotional if I can help it. I know that's a first, right? Because I usually do get all emotional. What I invite you to do, let's turn to page 586 and rise for the Aleinu. And Sarah, would you help me, please? Come on down. You're going to help me open the ark? I'd like that very much. Get the bottom, I'll get the top, and we'll do it together. Perfect. Thank you. Eloheinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol l'ateit gedula liotze breshi shelo asanu kigoye haratzo V'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama shelo sam chelekeinu kahem v'goralenu k'chol ha'monam v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Notesh Shamayim V'yoseh Haaretz Umoshav Yakarov Bashamayim Mima'al Ushinat Uzo Bigohei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Efet Zulato Karkatuv Bitorato Viadata Yom Vehashivota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hua Elohim Bashamayim mimal v'al ha'aretz v'al ha'aretz mitachat einod. Page 588. For you spread out the heavens and establish the earth. Your majestic abode is in the heavens above, and your mighty presence is in the loftiest heights. You are our God, and there is none else. In truth, you are our sovereign without compare, as is written in your Torah. Know then this day and take it to heart, that Adonai is surely God in the heavens above and on the earth below. There is none else. Page 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai Lamelech al kol haaretz bayom ha'u yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. When Jeannie and I first joined Temple Beth David, Rabbi Kersner was here. And I quickly learned that as we get toward the memorial part of this service, this was one of his favorite prayers. And so I will do it in his honor. Page 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. If you can't give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. El Malay. El Malay Rachamim. Shochein baromim, hamse menucha nechona, tacha kanfei hashechina, im kodshim oti horim, ki zohar harakiha, Masirim Lanishmot Hakireinu. Rabbi Robert Kersner. Shahalchol Yoleamam Bal Harachamim Harachamim Yasti Remsef Tekin Afav Liolamim Vitror Hachayim et Nishmatam Adonai Hunachalatam Yanu B'Shalom Amishkavam V'nomar Amen. Page 599. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. For each and every one, we say, Zichronam Livracha. May their memories always, always be for a blessing. Do you have people who have died in the past 7 days? We're in the period of Shiva. Shloshim, the past 30 days? No one's typing anything into the chat box, no. Okay? Then, in addition to the rabbi, we remember these people who were part of our congregational family. Henny Idell, Morton Epstein, Mo Eagle, Daniel Joseph Middleton, Irving Levitt, Samuel Corrin, Murray Wheel, Morris Darnowski, Morris Davis, Howard Victor Epstein, Sigmund Finkelman, Helen Brudner, Isidore Bernstein, Doris Miller, Gary Peck, Doris Miller. Are there any other names you would like to add to this list this evening? Daniel, any names? Okay. If you would please rise as a community of one as we join those who are in mourning, as we recite the Reader's Kaddish found on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shmed kudsha barichu le'elamim kol brachata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechechmata da'miran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imroma Uyaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael va'imru. Amen. May the one who makes harmony on high bring peace to us and all Israel, and let us say, Amen. Okay. Do we have, please be seated, announcements? Do we have any announcements? Anybody?
I think the spring can drive is going on until, I think, after Passover.
All right, the spring food drive is going on, okay.
We're having a baby naming May 18th.
Oh, yes, May 18th, baby naming here, that's right.
That's right, and May 5th is the annual congregational meeting.
Ah, yes, May 5th, the annual congregational meeting. What time is that scheduled?
3 o'clock.
3 p.m., all right. Very good, we hope you will be here. I would like to congratulate Eliza Brown and Mark Epstein on their birthdays coming up. There was one other topic I wanted to discuss during the Devar, which I didn't, and I will, because no one has ever accused me of being organized. This is the Parsha where people who fall out of favor with God get what the only way we can describe it is leprosy. But it wasn't, because it was everything they owned. The walls of their house had scars. Everything, all their clothing, everything. Everything. And so they were banished. They were sent away from the village. And when they were better, they returned. It was Moses who pleaded with God to let Miriam return. because she was afflicted with this because she upset God. This, we keep calling it leprosy because we have no other name for it. But again, it reminds me of a vengeful God. And I still have a problem with that. I probably always will have a problem with that. Well, on that really uplifting and happy note, I would ask you all to rise for the priestly blessing. Please. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chonecha. May the Lord's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord's face turn toward you and grant you peace. V'yasem lecha shalom. May you go from strength to strength. Shabbat shalom and happy Passover.